what I can tell you, the most recent one that I've done with him is we were filming a sequence in a square. That's all I can say. And we were talking. And at the end of it, there's like 200 extras with us, supporting artists, and we were standing and talking, and I said to the camera guys, as I always do, just keep rolling. Shout cut, just keep rolling. They're like, okay. And so we do the scene, and I go, la 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 la, and I'm supposed to walk away while, you know, that's me, and then the arrow, Oliver's supposed to turn and go and look at me. And so I went la 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 la, and I walked away. And as soon as I felt him turn, I literally did this up the staircase. I went, shoot that poison arrow through my eye. And this was Steven's reaction. He went like this. Fucking arrow. And then the other night, this wasn't really a bad one, but we're doing a scene. Willa and I are doing a scene, and again we're talking, and I just kept doing it. I kept doing this to her, and she looked at me one moment. She went, "Would you stop it?" She said, "I will kill you if you keep doing that." She said, "How am I supposed to do this if you're going?" I went, "I just feel like doing it to you." And she's like, "Well, don't."
How about 2 more questions? Yeah, a couple more?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I haven't read your autobiography, but how did you guys come to be in Wisconsin and like live in Wisconsin?
We're actually aliens.
Aliens.
And you know there's a lot of aliens land in Wisconsin and take people up and all that kind of stuff. That's us! Aside from that.
All right, here's how we ended up in Wisconsin. When we were moved here to from Scotland, we went to Illinois. Then Kevin and I, my husband and I met in grad school in DeKalb, but our family were still in Illinois. We wanted to find a job back in Wisconsin.
No, we first went to the Dakotas.
We went to the Dakotas. I worked in the Dakotas for a year or 2. And then we kept looking for jobs in the Midwest. My husband's family is all from the Twin Cities, and my parents at that time and family were all in Illinois. And Alverno had a job opening for a historian and an English professor, and so we applied for the job there, and this is our 27th year at the college. And
so when my parents retired, I bought a condo up here, and I said to my parents, "You guys go, you can live in that so they can be near my sister, and then when we all come back, we're all in one place, and then, I'm gonna say come back, and we come back from the dead. Then, you know, in Palm Springs, they spend the winters in Palm Springs with Scott and I, or if we're in London, they travel up. So basically, my parents are homeless. And they just go around place to place, wherever. And my mother's got the same amount of shoes in every freaking house. And my dad will be like, "Do you need more shoes?" And she's like, "No, but I don't have that pair in that house, so I need to take that there."
that's exactly right. It's not about need.
You don't have to tell me that. I got more shoes than you can understand. My dad's like, "How many?" I mean, I've got closets full of shoes in every house too.
It's a sickness.
It is. And it's a good sickness.
I'm not going to admit that.
Yes.
Writing questions in all is there a rule to transcribe the Scottish accent when you write it? Because in my language we don't do it, so we just mentioned that the character has an accent, but I noticed it's actually transcribed, so is there a rule to do it?
That is a really great question, and it depends on the writer, to be honest. There isn't any set rule. There are some writers, like Elmore Leonard, for example, and I tend to follow his school of writing, would say that you mention it, and then you just write it, because you can get yourself into a lot of trouble writing an accent badly, right? But I've felt like since we know the Scottish accent, since we talk that way, that I felt, and I've read a lot of Scottish literature, so I felt like we could capture that really, really well. And actually, the most fun for us is when we do readings, people will say, "Read it to us in Scottish," and so then we'll do the Scottish, and then they say, "Oh, that's how you pronounce that word."
It's funny because the place we have,
sparingly.
Auchenmurn is the name of the place that where Hollow Earth happens, and people actually have come and said it's called Auchenmurn. No. It's morgen? No. It's ochen morgen.
You gotta get that.
Yeah, och morgen. Last one, yes.
Okay, I'm a really big fan of characters that kind of become the anti-villain, where, you know, they have a certain redeemable quality to them. Do you think that that's a path that Malcolm Merlin might take as he progresses on the series? Would you like it to be that way, or do you...
I can't say anything upon that subject.
I could, but he'd kill me.
I'm not allowed to comment on anything like that at all, because I will get in trouble.
Playing the jerk, as you called him earlier.
No, but I think he's not, in my eyes, he's not a jerk. In my eyes, he's misunderstood. He is a misunderstood hero. And he is somebody who, if you think about it, again, I can say this because I've always said this, he does exactly the same thing that Oliver does. It's just looked at differently. And that's why I think that, again, people like him, because, and it was in one sequence where the director told me, they keep saying to me about not putting, well, not so much now because I've done it, and they realize the popularity that how he's become popular is partially because of that. There was one sequence where I was talking about my wife dying, you know, being murdered, and the director said to me, you know, I want you just to do it dry, I don't want, I said, no. I said, no, you just make sure the camera's pointing in the right place, you let me do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna just let one little, or even, I can't remember if it was a tear or if my eyes welled up, but I was looking in a window and he was shooting me through the window, and so you saw it, but the people in the room, the other characters I was with, didn't see it. So you saw the emotion, and you saw that Malcolm was hiding this and keeping this pain to himself. And after that moment, everyone's like, oh my God, I still get it. I get Malcolm Merlin because he's, you know, he loves his wife and he loves the city and la 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 la. And I'm like, yes, because that means that you love him more and he's gonna be in it more. And that secures my employment.
And buys me more boots. You guys are awesome.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.